Hi, everyone. The other day I put out a post regarding corruption in our state and county school districts, and I just wanted to come to you today to discuss in a verbal format the things that I laid out in my post. So this is very much a rally cry to all those involved in this corrupt behavior in our county school districts. I ask you, what wind is guiding your life? The wind of the Holy Spirit or the wind of the flesh? How are you living your life today? And I also put in my post, know the state of your flocks and put your heart into caring for your herds. Proverbs 27:23, because I really think that verse is important in this situation. I have seen multiple posts in a large local Facebook group regarding our local school districts. I want to take a moment to look at the bigger picture with you in regards to our local school districts. For a long time, school districts have continued to accrue more and more power as they have accumulated more and more power incrementally over time. They have abused that power, yet we the people have continued to give them even more power, even when they had abused the power they were originally given. And this pattern has continued on for decades. Now, we wonder why they feel so entitled to violate the rights of our children and our families. Because whether you're talking about physical abuse or sexual abuse of children in our schools or violations of privacy laws and HIPAA laws, the overall bigger picture is the ever-expanding violation of rights of our children and families by school districts. But here is what we don't realize. A school district's power is an illusion, because the real power has always been we the people. What we the people give, we the people can take away. It really is that simple. For so long, there has been such blind faith placed in institutions like our county school districts. What we have neglected to see is how that blind faith we gave them has contributed to their abuse of their power over all this time. We can no longer afford to make the same mistakes of the past. We can no longer afford to be complacent. We can no longer afford to give school districts our blind faith. It is time for we the people to reclaim our power. Wake up, sleeper, come to the light. Have you heard that song? You might want to listen to it. In at least one of our county school districts, there is a violent physical abuser parading as a kindergarten teacher. And though she is not the only abuser in our county school districts, this particular abuser has physically abused multiple children over a period of several years. She is still teaching with access to children to abuse because of the loopholes and blind spots in our state education laws that have been abused and exploited by those who are experienced and adept at exploiting them to protect themselves and this abuser. How many more of our sons and daughters will endure the trauma caused by physical abuse and psychological abuse at the hands of this violent abuser before we say, enough is enough? How many more of our county families will suffer devastation and trauma caused by this abuser's violent physical abuse of their sons and daughters before we say, enough is enough? Haven't we had enough already? Haven't our sons and daughters in this county suffered enough? Haven't our county families endured enough trauma? Haven't we had enough? There is a problem with teachers reporting their colleagues in our local school districts. In at least one of our local school districts, teachers and school district staff members have not reported their colleague who violently physically abuses children. And the repercussions of this have had a negative impact on multiple families in our community. This is completely illegal. If you are a school district staff member and you cannot follow the mandatory reporting laws to report your colleagues that physically or sexually abuse our children, you do not deserve your job, your position, your title, or your responsibility. In at least one of our local school districts, a principal bottlenecked the mandatory reporting system by restricting all school district staff to report the colleagues who physically abuse or sexually abuse children to him only, and only he could then decide if those crimes were to be reported outside of the school district to law enforcement or CPS. This is completely illegal. All physical abuse or sexual abuse of children by colleagues in school districts should be reported immediately to KCSO and CPS. If you are a school district principal and you cannot follow the mandatory reporting laws of our state to allow free and unrestricted reporting of your colleagues in the school district that physically or sexually abuse our children, you do not deserve your job. You don't deserve your title. You don't deserve your position. You don't deserve your responsibility. I've spoken to 2 people. One of these people was an attorney. One was a local person, and another person commented on one of my prior Facebook posts regarding her out-of-state experience with being blacklisted because it happens nationwide. So I've spoken to 2 people who have talked to me about the repercussions of school districts in our state blacklisting teachers who follow state mandatory reporting laws to report their colleagues for physical or sexual abuse, or who are blacklisted for testifying in a court case against a school district and a colleague who physically or sexually abused children. Blacklisted is when a school district fires the teacher and places their name on a blacklist, which effectively ends their career in that state, just for following the law. And that teacher then has to literally leave the state to get another job in the education arena or completely change careers. School district administrators who engage in these intimidation tactics to prevent reporting or impede reporting significantly contribute to creating an environment ripe for physical, sexual, and psychological abuse in their school district. And I want to be really clear about that. And this is also completely illegal. If you are a school district administrator and you cannot follow the mandatory reporting laws to allow free and unrestricted reporting, free of intimidation tactics like blacklisting colleagues for the reporting of your school district staff members that physically or sexually abuse our children, you do not deserve your job, your position, your title, or your responsibility. We have also learned how easy it is for school district administrators to destroy physical evidence of a physical or sexual abuse incident, and how easy it is for school district administrators to hide, delete, or destroy any evidence of a teacher's history of abuse. So many ways to exploit these loopholes and blind spots. So many ways to abuse their power. So how do we, the people, end this corruption and reclaim our power? That's the question, right? We report all physical abuse and sexual abuse of our children in the school district to KCSO. When we report to KCSO, we, the people, reclaim our authority. This is how we protect our sons and daughters. In my humble opinion, the ultimate expression of your patriotism right now in this U.S. county is to act right now today to protect our sons and daughters here at home in Kittitas County by reporting these abusers to KCSO. Our own sons and daughters need you to act to protect them. We need to root these SOBs out of our fucking schools.